So once again, what is it? People get a job, right? I'm sorry, they go to college, they get debt, but they don't get a degree. They don't get their degree, but they get debt. 82% of the people don't even use their degree. Half the jobs don't require a degree, and half the degrees don't have a job for them. So you need more than just a degree to get the real job of your dreams. Cost of tuition is up 1,184% in 40 some odd years. The extra value meal at McDonald's has only gone up 3 times. It's 228% more now than it was in 1995 when I was in 1994 when I graduated from high school. Okay. And people just are playing the game of loans from college. They have a mortgage, but they have no house because they owe the government, they owe the student, the bank money. By the way, if you don't know this, the only debt you can't claim bankruptcy on is student debt. You can claim medical bankruptcy, business bankruptcy, all sorts, credit card bankruptcy, but you cannot claim student debt bankruptcy. 45% of people that get a degree wind up living at their mom's house after they blossomed for 4 years, moved out, and then they move back in. 53% of college graduates are unemployed. So they get this money and they get this, I'm sorry, they don't get money, they get a debt, they get this accumulated debt, and they don't even have a job after they graduate. So you need more. Now nod your head one more time. You need more than just a degree. I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm saying don't go to college debt. Please don't go into college debt. Even though it's no interest for a certain number of years, then it becomes interest, right? How many of you guys know that, right? You get the degree, now you get the interest. And then there's inflation and all sorts of other economic uncertainty. So this is like life as we know it in the society that we're in today. I'm going to give you the 2 greatest quotes maybe that I learned on this subject in my life. Number 1 is how you do anything is how you do everything. Please write it down. How you do anything is how you do everything. How many of you guys have ever been lazy before? And then you got this job. Were you less lazy or more lazy when you had no one pushing you out of bed, no one telling you to be at work at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., 12 p.m. or 12 a.m.? You actually like, I'll be lazy because no one's going to make me do this. I have too much flexibility. Who loves the flexibility of Cutco? Raise your hand high. You love the flexibility. And how many of you guys have struggled with the flexibility of all things? That's the thing you struggle with the most. And that's why we have Champs Club, and that's why we have PDI, and that's why we try to push you and crack the whip. But we can't. It's a volunteer job. You do what you want. I can't make you guys do anything. But how you are at this job is probably how you are at other things. If it takes you a long time to do things you're supposed to do, like procrastination, who's ever struggled with procrastination? Well, who's ever procrastinated being on the phone? Everyone's done that. How many of you guys have had a hard time asking for things? And then you go to ask someone to buy Cutco and you're a big fat wuss, like a pansy when you ask for the order. How about asking for a date? How many of you guys have ever chickened out there? Guys, that's why you didn't sell a homemaker. That's why you didn't sell a galley set, because you chickened out. Maybe you asked, but you asked in a big fat wussy way. Nod your head again if this is hitting home. You're like, Phil knows my demos. Is he watching me? Is he like got a drone? What's going on here? Okay. Guys, I did it too. But how you do anything is how you do everything. That doesn't mean your fate is set. That doesn't mean your fate is set. What I'm saying is you can grow. This job, why I'm here 31 years later, 26 years as a manager, 31 years I've been in our company, is because I'm still growing. It's not a height and weight thing either. That's happening too. Okay. But guys, I'm still growing as a person and that's why I love it. I love being here. I'm doing the same thing. You know, few people stay in a company for that long, right? I love what I do. And that's why I'm here, because how I do anything is how I do everything. And so the more I improve myself in one aspect of my life, the more I can improve myself in other aspects of my life. I use Cutco stuff in my family relationships, in my friends relationships, in my church relationships, in how do I talk to my server at the restaurant? How do I ask for a discount and get a discount on a Mother's Day present I just bought today? I got a discount because I asked for it. How you do anything is how you do everything. You're getting skills that pay the bills. You guys remember that term, right? You get skills that are for your life. And the second quote, this was harsh. I was a manager. Our office had sold millions of dollars at this point. And my region manager, our region manager said straight up to the whole division, he goes, if you can't sell Cutco, you can't sell anything. What does that mean, Michael? Dude, it means, guys, Cutco's so easy to sell, they let 18-year-olds do it. It's so easy. Like the program is set. The manual works. The product has been on for 75 years. Cutco is way better at selling itself than you are at selling Cutco. And here's the thing, Emily, if you can't learn how to sell Cutco, then what the heck are you going to sell when it's harder to sell something? Like selling a business, selling your kid on cleaning their room, selling your teenager from not smoking pot, selling your family on buying an e-vehicle or a non-e-vehicle, selling your town on recycling when you're a member of the city council, trying to get the blue recycling bins in everyone's driveway. Like selling a business that you created called Facebook, PayPal, or Sky, whatever the SpaceX. That's a hard sale. When MySpace was the greatest social network that ever existed, and Mark Zuckerberg came along and tried to sell the whole world on Facebook versus MySpace, he made the sale because none of you even know what MySpace is, but your mom does. Your mom had a MySpace. It was way better than Facebook, but guess what? Mark Zuckerberg figured it out and made a better product. And that's way harder to do than selling some dang knives. You guys understand that? Like selling this pocket knife is so much easier to sell in the state of Utah, of all places. This thing's amazing. It's got the belt clip. You guys see the fold, right? You press the button, it folds. You got the thumb thing here so I can open it up because of my thumb. I got the belt clip right there. See the belt clip? This thing is absolutely awesome. How many freaking people in Utah could use this anyway? This doesn't even have the universal wedge lock handle. This is easier to sell than freaking Facebook in 2008, whatever it was, right? 2005. So what you need is skills, right? Computer hacking skills, bow hunting skills. You got to be good with a bow staff. Wait, that's Napoleon Dynamite. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. But guys, you need like soft skills. What are soft skills, guys? This is what gets you to be a good father, mother, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, wife, communicator. This is what helps you be a better politician, lawyer, doctor, dentist, real estate agent, teacher, professor, therapist, engineer. Do you guys realize engineers do nothing but present? I mean, they know math, they know chemistry, they know civil, how to make trusses and bridges, a civil engineer, but they don't get the bids for the multi-million dollar, billion-dollar projects in their city unless they know how to communicate, how to present, how to share ideas, share vision. Do you think politicians need to know how to public speak and share ideas? Do you think people on the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association, need to learn public speaking and sharing ideas? Do mothers and fathers, husbands and wives need to learn how to listen empathetically? Do therapists need to? Do counselors? Managing yourself and your time. What do we talk about in Cutco and in Key Staff? Right? What do we talk about? We talk about there is no such thing as time management. Time management is a fallacy. It's self-management in the time that you're given. One, you don't know how much time you ever get. And actually, two, you know exactly how much time you have in a week, in a month, in a year, in a day, in an hour. But what do you do with that hour? You don't count hours, you make hours count. If you're an hour counter, you're never going to make a lot of money in your life. You're going to have a JOB, just over broke. Right? But you learn to manage yourself. Now you have an opportunity. You have a limitless income and a limitless opportunity to create Facebook, Tesla, SpaceX, blah, 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 Apple, or Microsoft. So you need good grades, but you need other stuff, right? 46% of the employers that are out there tell you, they will say that there's too much emphasis on learning, book learning. Okay, Shay, will you text the division and make sure assistant managers are joining in 16 minutes? Okay, great. Please put these in your calendar real quick, guys. Take a screenshot of this slide. Take a screenshot of this slide, okay? Because what we have is some serious dates. Yeah, take a picture, Peyton. Thank you so much. Now, what I want you to do is open up your calendar. If you have your calendar, this will take 5 minutes, not even. Take 3 minutes maybe. Go to June 9th and mark SC1 kickoff. Go to June 9th through the 23rd and mark SC1 push. And then go to June 23rd and write SC1 conference. Give me 3 fingers, everybody. Give me 3 fingers. So in this column for SC1, you actually have 3 things to mark. SC1 kickoff is the 9th, which is the first day of the 14-day competition, June 9th to the 23rd, right, Kenzie? And then June 23rd is SC1. Okay. And Shay, on a whim, I'm going to see, can you check your email right now, Shay, for COLA? Just search the term COLA and see if Jen Young has sent out a COLA report for SC1 yet. She may have sent it out. Now, give me 3 fingers again, guys. Give me 3 fingers. And I'm going to have you mark 3 things again for SC2. Summer Conference 2 is a Super Bowl of Vector. The #1 most important competition of the whole summer we kick it off on July 14th. And in those, Saturday and Monday, we're going to have what we call the phone jams, the special phone jams.
There's a COLA for boot camp, but
not for SC1 yet. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. And then July 14th to the 1st, right, Michael, is the SC2 push. And then August 1st and 2nd, same hotel, same place, 4, 6, 8 blocks from the office, is SC2 conference. And then go ahead and give me 2 fingers. Please mark these 2 events. The C of C, Conference of Champions. Conference of Champions is August 12th and 13th. It's the Tuesday, Wednesday before school starts for most of you. Tuesday, Wednesday before school starts. AJ, you better be back by then. Okay. And then 18th to the 21st. 18th to the 21st is the trip to Olean. Trip to Olean to see Cutco being made live and in person. Dude, that trip is my favorite trip almost every year. Budapest is cool. I go on a lot of scuba dive trips, guys. I do a lot of fun things with Front Row Dads. I do a lot of fun things outside of Front Row Dads, going on a honeymoon this year. And one of my favorite trips every year is still Olean, New York. Okay. And I want to bring 30 people to Olean, New York from our division. 30. There's not even 30 people on this Zoom. And there's a key staff meeting happening in Provo, a key staff meeting happening in Southern Rockies, and we have our combined key staff. And there's people that haven't even started the job that are going to come to Olean 4 months from now. 5 months from now. Okay, for time's sake, I'm not going to go over that for SC1, but it's going to be our first conference of the summer. It is $99 to go, I think. Will you check how much SC1 is, Shay? And this is an old slide, so I need to fix that. Guys, by the way, CFC, this is CFC. We're going to do some cool rappelling. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff. But my objectives for you guys for the summer is that I want you to give me 3 fingers, write these 3 things down. I hope I've sold you on why you should work here all summer. I hope I've sold you on why you should consider working here in the fall. In a way, I hope I've sold you that you think, man, if I can get this much out of being a sales rep, what could I get out of being an assistant manager? What could I get out of being a branch manager or a district manager? And some of you have been attending our assistant manager training calls, which are happening in 12 minutes. The 5th call is happening in 12 minutes. But, what can you get out of this summer and then for the next year? Financial growth, personal growth, professional growth, right? Obviously, if it's a job, money has to be involved. How many of you guys would like to earn way more money than you've earned so far? I mean, you might be satisfied with what you've already earned with the time you spent, but many of you are like, no, I'm not. I haven't made enough money in Cutco. I need to make way more money. For the time I put in, I need to make way more money than I've made so far. So yes, the money is what it's all about when you talk about any type of opportunity of income, right? Personal growth. I want you to be a better human. And thirdly, I want you to be moving up in our business. Guys, we will not win the Silver Cup. can I just say this out loud right now? We will not win the national championship. We looked so good in that report, and we looked really good in that report. If we don't have the summer that we want to have this summer, we're going to fall in those standings, and we won't win the Silver Cup. I don't care about a cup that collects dust and whatever. I don't have a baby to bathe in it or something. I have no reason to have a Silver Cup. Okay, it's a pretty cool trophy, but I don't need that. But each of you needs more money and needs more personal growth and needs more professional growth. We will not get what we want in our company, in our division, in our office, if you guys don't get these things this summer. And we can't do it alone. Patrick and I, we're not going to do it. We need everybody to be a part of this. Okay. So moving right along, what is your opportunity? This is the, the moneyest slide. I call this the moneyest slide because it's literally about money. But it's also this slide where when I was in your shoes, I had no idea how much money I'd be making. I was like, what? I don't know what I can make in Cutco. My mom would say, well, how much are you going to make this week? Because it wasn't like 20 hours times 5.25 an hour. That's what it was at Walgreens. But I'm not making 5.25 an hour, and neither are you. But here's how you can know how much you're going to make. Emily, all you got to do is say, I need 5 grand. And now you say, I need 5 grand by June 1st, by July 1st, August 1st. And if you need 5 grand by August 1st, you got to sell 20 grand by August 1st. Michael, if you need 8,500 bucks, if you need 12.5 to pay for your mission, pay your tithing, and buy a suit. I'll use that as an example. You need $12,500 to pay for a mission, to buy a suit, and to pay your tithing. Okay, because people that go on missions pay their tithing, right? And that's fine. Well, then you got to know you got to sell 40 grand by the time you go on your mission. By the way, my last 2 paychecks before my mission were both $1,000 paychecks. The last 2 paychecks were at the highest income. So I was fired up to get those paychecks, and it literally added 30% of what I made for the whole 5 months in those last couple paychecks, almost 3 grand that I made, right? In those last 2 paychecks were 30% of what I made in the $10,000 that I made previous, right? But on the way, guys, here's what you need to do. You got to sell 16. You want to make $16,500, Calvin? Then you got to say, how fast can I sell 50 grand? By the way, here, I love this slide. If you took a screenshot, because you have your exact promotions, right? You got 3K, 6K, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 150. And this is when you're making all the promotions. Okay, moving right along, I'm going to pause for a second and say, one of the things you want to do here, guys, is please write down May 26th. May 26th. Sorry, I didn't tell you this earlier. May 26th to May 30th, we'll call it. Maybe 31st. It's the Tuesday to Saturday after Memorial Day. We're starting May in like 2 days, right? 3 days. On the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, whatever those last few days of after Memorial Day. And then write down 15K. Write down 15K. You got four weeks. And what we need is there's going to be, no, this doesn't matter to you guys. It matters to me. For like vernacular, it's Cutco terms. You got to be at 15K by that Memorial Day weekend. Because if you're at 15K by Memorial Day weekend, there's 2 trainings that we're going to be having that week. As it stands right now. 2 trainings we're going to have that week. One is when you're at 15K, you can be trained on servicing people's Cutco. Okay. So what I'm going to show you guys is a sharpener, a Cutco sharpener. Okay, I got this right here. And the company has put together a sharpening stand here, if you will. Okay. And what happens is you can take people's Cutco, you go to their kitchen, you go to their house, Calvin, and Calvin, you're over this number, Calvin. But there's still something we got to talk about. But it has this, these rods. These are for safety. These ones right here, and then these are the sharpening rods. And when you go into someone's kitchen, and you're so freaking cute, Calvin, you're so ridiculously cute, Michael, and you're just this cute human being, Peyton and Kenzie. Oh my gosh, Maya, you come into my house and you sharpen my forever knives, and I don't have to send them to the Olean factory, and I don't have to be without my knives that I love. I can't believe this is the greatest thing. And you know what? I hella want to buy more Cutco. When you sharpen someone's Cutco at their kitchen table, and by the way, AJ, you tell them your scholarship goals. Ramon, you tell them that you are trying to sell 40 grand worth of Cutco this summer, and you're trying to win a scholarship with Cutco. When you do that in their kitchen, it is like they're like, take my money. I want to buy 5, gift sets for people at my work. And there's my cousin and my neighbor and whoever's getting married. My division manager's getting married in a week, whatever, right? And they buy Cutco for themselves and they buy Cutco for their grandma and their aunt and their mother. And they buy Mother's Day presents and they buy Father's Day presents. And I'm telling you guys, when you sharpen their Cutco, it's unbelievable. So what happens on that week of, again, the date we don't know, but May 26th through the 30th, there's going to be a day where our region-wide service call trainer, Nick Snyder, is going to come out here, and Faith Perkins, who sold $1.8 million worth of Cutco in our division, and they're going to teach you how to sharpen people's Cutco in their kitchen. It's like another, and by the way, Calvin, you sold 26 grand. You sharpen all your customers that just bought their Cutco because you know as well as I do, Calvin, that half your customers had Cutco before you sold them Cutco. Like they already had Cutco. They had Cutcos that's older than you, but you didn't know how to sharpen their knives. But when you go to their house and you sharpen their knives after you've already sold them more Cutco, they're going to buy more from you again. So get to 15K. Some of you guys are like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do it. How many of you guys have had that emotion? You're like, I don't know if I can do that. Guys, school's out for summer. No more teacher, no more books, right? You guys can absolutely sell 15 grand in the month if you decide. It just takes about 15 demos a week for the next 4 weeks. So 15K, it takes about 15 demos a week for the next 4 weeks. You could be crushing the scholarship standings, crushing this job and an amazing opportunity if you just do 15 demos a week now that school's out. And the second training, give me 2 fingers. The second training is you can be trained on how to sell Cutco at events. You can be trained on how to sell Cutco at events. Events like the Utah State Fair. Events like, I'm going to show you this on a slide here, guys. Right here. Events teams. You can learn to sell Cutco at state fair, county fair, home show, trade show, farmers market. And this is on your way to being one of the highest level sales reps in our company while you're learning to be an assistant manager, division manager, district manager, branch manager. And these are some amazing roles and positions. Key staff is why we're here. Key staff is what we're talking about. But then there's the assistant manager role, the sales manager role, branch manager, division office manager, and district manager role. Okay. These are all things we're promoting for, right? What I say I want you to get is personal growth, income. I'm going to time's sake not show you all these slides. There's opportunities for scholarships along the way this summer. And another thing, for time's sake, I won't mention that right now, but I will say you can also save your money, right? For opportunities to be a branch or district manager. There's amazing opportunities from a standpoint of earning, free vacations and free cars. Leadership Academy is the way to go, right? But those 2 trainings are coming up that week after Memorial Day. How to sell Cutco at the booth and how to sell Cutco and sharpen people's Cutco so you can sell more Cutco. Those trainings are coming up in the end of this month. We need to get more people set up for those trainings, which means we need more people at 15K. Calvin, you're already on the list, right? Because you're at 23,000. But if you're not at 15K yet, what I tell you, it takes about 15 demos a week for 4 weeks. And you guys can get trained. And by the way, you'll make like 5 grand this month. Now, if I told you if you just do 15 demos a week for 4 weeks in a row, and vector marking will pay you, Ramon, 5 grand in 4 weeks. Who's signing up for that? 15 demos a week, 4 weeks in a row, school's out. I'm going after it. Guys, you could help us win the Silver Cup right there and help your office. If you're not in Salt Lake City, you could help your office grow in an amazing way and be a leader in your office. Put yourself into a position of choice to be an assistant manager and in 2026 be a branch manager. We're going to have 16 managers in our division that are running offices in a year, and we're going to have 43 assistant managers openings in those offices. What if your second summer you made $15, $20, $30,000 in your second summer in Cutco? By the way, you can make a lot more than that. I'm just giving some numbers that, usually excite some people. If you go for national championships and #1 scholarship winner, go for, any of those numbers, you can make a lot more money. But that's what we're building towards. And individually, I want to help each and every one of you get some numbers that you're proud of and excited about. Okay. So thank you for being here. I know we didn't go on a lot of Cutco training in this meeting, right? But I hope you guys, I wanted to talk about the summer opportunity for growth, for income, for personal development, for leadership and things like that, because it gets even bigger and better your second summer in Cutco. But here we are just finishing finals. This is like prime time to make some really exciting things happen for summer 2020